Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Queen of Wands. Let's see. What do these tea leaves have to say tonight? All right. Okay, so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell, that little bell icon. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay. And so, okay, so I'm seeing all kinds of things, kind of. This is one that really is full of pictures. Little scenarios. So I want to start out with, we have a bird right here. You can see the face, or the beak, the head, the body, the legs are here. Okay, and it's kind of like its tail covers the whole sky. And down here it almost looks like looking at this, and I think of people just kind of in these different postures of kind of reaching out, reaching upwards. This one kind of in a worshipful posture. Kind of just little depictions of domestic life and duties, and so I think of kind of that sky bird, that bird, maybe not unlike Nuit, the goddess Nuit, this being of the sky that spreads itself over all things. It is kind of the gateway into the infinite. It is the protector. It is that which looks upon us and, takes care of us, watches over as we go about our tedium and our prayers and our faith and our grace and all of our moments of failing to meet those moments of perfection, in between. And so I feel that there really is a sense of a wholeness in your life. We have the Queen of Wands, and this is a being who has been forged in fire, one who has kind of been through a lot, had a lot of changes, really gone through at least a couple seasons, and is coming into this time of life of really being in that highest point in the sky, the high noon, as they call it, in that really kind of Helios consciousness, the ability to see without shadow, right? Very clearly, with great passion. We think of the words that are of flame, and so here, I look at this and I feel like you really, where I think in some parts of your life, you maybe have felt quite alone. And although I don't know that it's exactly that you seek to be with somebody else apart from yourself, but you seek to be, I think, I'm guessing here, there is a deeper sense of wanting to be reunited with that divinity, and this plays out through all of our relationships. I think there is an eager there to connect on a soul level, and and I feel like there is this tendency towards cosmic vision, the divine union of many parts. And I feel like there's a great blessing here, and mostly I believe that is just feeling safe in your own life, feeling that there's meaning in your life. That is the greatest blessing, I imagine. But we'll see what else comes along with that. Okay, so I see up here we have the cow. We have a beautiful cow's head. But I want to look at this closer, and this is the bird's head turned on the side. But we do have kind of this, it looks like a person sitting, and they are maybe in a large robe, and they're looking through a telescope into the cosmos. And it's like traveling up to the highest point on the ridge, and pulling out your telescope and looking into the mystery of mysteries. And I feel like this is really what motivates you, to go forth each day, to have just a small chance at looking into that cosmic unknown, to be with the mysteries, to be among them, to really perceive them, to live a magical life, and I think that is so much the longing, to be a person. It doesn't have to be that you're of any great regard necessarily, or monetary success, although of course that's it's not terrible to have a little bit of resource, right? But I think that the real thing here, it's that real archetype of kind of your old scholars and wizards and learned ones, and I feel like this is kind of the great love of your life. This is the inspiration. This is where you feel at home. You go through your days, you do your work, you tend to your family, but it is when you are with yourself and your books and your learning and the stars and all of these things. This is when you are home. This is it. Okay, so let's see, what does this all kind of mean? Now we do have the cow's head. So we have that Hawthorne energy, a most sacred cow, right? Mother, fertility, beloved, a sense of enduring and deep connection and an unconditional love, really. And so I look at this and I really do think that you are blessed with having found some kind of deep love in your life as well. And this could be your child, it could be a partner, it could be a family member or chosen family and so on. It doesn't have to be romantic, but I think that there is a sense of a lot of silliness and humor and I see two people kind of hand in hand in this kind of silly, they look like they're kind of, dancing around. And I feel like, you can be yourself here as well. And I think that, at times, and we see a goose here with it kind of is in that angry goose posture. I think at times you can get pretty annoyed because, you don't like somebody to kind of nag at you or push you too hard or, remind you one too many times. But I think, the reality of things is that, it's hard for you to not be doing things in a solitary way. But maybe you are a family now, and maybe, or, you have come into this dynamic in a relationship that you usually love. You love most of it. But then it gets, sometimes it just gets on your nerves. And I think that, this is where you begin to retreat. I think that even there's a sense of when people do too much for you, or you perceive them to be doing too much for you, although you've maybe entered into a kind of a family situation, where everybody kind of shares their part of the work. You kind of perceive this as a sign of your own weakness in some way, I think, having somebody help you. And I don't know where that comes from, but I know for a lot of people it is hard to ask for help. It's hard to have somebody just kind of come in and help in general, even if it is, your partner or your parent or your child or whatever. But I think that this is a spot where, maybe things could be examined. I think that this is maybe sometimes a stuck point. Okay. And we all feel, I like help, but I don't like what I'm doing being done some other way that just causes chaos in my system. I'm a Virgo, right? I have a system for things. And so, sometimes I'm so uptight that any kind of help becomes quite a burden. Not because I feel weak, I just feel annoyed. And that's just what it is, right? Well, in here we have another goose, with its wing kind of up like that. So I feel like there maybe is a point where it's like, you just really, I feel there's some amount of stress happening. And I feel like that's really like compounding everything else. I feel like you're just a bit of a short fuse, okay? And, but we have a lot of love, okay? There's a heart right there. We also have a shoe with a wing on it. And so I feel that there will be an important message. Something from the divine, a message from the gods, right? Something coming through soon. And I think this will be important for you, okay? I'm looking at this in the middle. We also have a person standing here looking up, and we have a phallic symbol here. So there is a sense of, again, fertility, but this is the masculine fertility. And really a lot of creative energy here. We have that potent fire energy. So a good time for creating, for making money, you know, really putting your efforts into, you know, kind of growing whatever it is that you are working on. If that is business, your career, some kind of creative project. Okay, let's see. Now we have an animal who looks like it is kind of running quickly. And I think it looks kind of like a dog, really. And then we have a person standing here beneath the stars. And I have a feeling this is kind of like the werewolf. I feel like there is an instance coming up where something is going to really kind of set you off into a very primal posture. I mean, really just something I think that you even feel like, I've worked past this. I don't act like this. This is not me. And so, you know, I think when we have these kinds of energies coming up, and we have that deep fire energy with the Queen of Wands. And so when this comes up, you must be, you know, really good at tempering yourself. Or, you know, it just, I think, could get pretty destructive. And so I think just really kind of being aware of how you're feeling, and if you're ramping up into anger, you know, instead of saying the thing that you wouldn't want to say usually, or doing the thing that you wouldn't usually do, or, you know, getting into the argument or the fight or whatever, really just disengaging where you can, taking some time for yourself, you know, and de-escalating on your side. And I think, you know, that's the best we can do. I mean, that's, you know, pretty ideal. So, but we also have a fish down here, and I didn't see that before, but we have a fish as well down here. And so I feel that, you know, really, I feel like maybe this angry moment will have to do something with, I must feel like it's like time management, and it has to do with money stuff, with work stuff. And you know, and I think that there's just a frustration there, you know, and, but I do feel like if you are able to kind of get yourself through it, and really, you know, really temper yourself, go about this the best way that you can, right? I think on the other end of it, it really will help you in your endeavors. You know, I think that ultimately learning how to deal with these big stresses and big feelings, you know, they open, when we are able to learn how to kind of direct those energies through us, those transient emotions, you know, let them go, instead of really holding on to it opens up a lot of space for us to do those things that end up serving us well, right? The creative work, putting time into our work, our monetary work, our pursuits of, building up our skill sets and so on, our networking and all of these kinds of things. And so, I think that definitely this is going to be kind of a payoff. Now, I don't always think it's like, oh, I do good, so good is going to come to me, right? I don't think it's really that. I think it's really about transmuting that energy. Okay. And that it's a big deal when we start to learn how to do that. Okay, so we have the Mary Magdalene Oracle by Megan Watterson. This is I've been waiting to use this deck. I've been so excited. So, I'm just going to flip through like we always do. And this is kind of a more traditional oracle deck. And it says, the sixth power, the body never lies. Okay. And these are such beautiful cards. My goodness, I love them. So listen to your body. Yeah, it's not going to lie to you. It knows what to do. I could not believe when I became a mother and I started nursing my daughter, she knew what to do. I was scared. I wasn't sure. I had never really been around anybody in my life, who was actively nursing that I can remember. My sister, maybe, for a while when I was young. But, but it's amazing because my point is, you just know, you figure things out, and sometimes they work for you and sometimes they don't, and let me just say, hashtag fed is best. Okay. I don't want to get, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, of stuff, but I do, I support all mothers, all fathers, all caretakers. However we feed our children, that is the best way. But it's, we listen to our bodies and it knows. And if we can figure out how to, and this is like intuition, figuring out how to hear yourself, right? Yes. So anyways, Cancer. I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor and a privilege to be here and bringing these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I love hearing from you. I really, really do. So with that, I will say I love you. I love you. I love you. We will talk in just a few days. Take care of yourself. Be safe. A lot of weather events happening all over the place. It's so cold where I'm at. I've been missing it, and I'm happy that it's here. But my goodness, it's quite confronting when you go out the front door and you're, it's cold. All right. Thank you, Cancer.